Let me make sure that this. Gosh, everyone's gonna be texting me too. What up, guys? I am just trying to turn my TV down. So that means we have 5,000 remotes or 5,000 things. Let me know what your questions are so far. There we go. I have like a surround system. Oh, good. We have no one live so far, so that's fine. Hey, look at it. It says, watch live now. Yes, I'm watching. One person. Hey, been waiting for you all day. I have my drink of choice. What are you offering for AJ Brown now? As an NFL GM? No, just kidding. Gosh, I think I might need to turn that light off. 1 second. I will answer that question. That might be better. That might be better. I like that better. Tyler Smith. Okay. I'm going to be reacting this for the rest of the night here. It doesn't matter if there's going to be 0 people or if there's going to be 1,000,000 people. AJ Brown. Can I comment actually on this? Taps, no live chat. No. Maybe I can't respond. All right. I'm going to go through a little bit of this live. So if you're here to make this point, we're going to be going through reactions to round 1 of the draft, which is why you are here. Eagles get A.J. Brown. Arizona gets Marquise Brown. That's where we're at. 108, Drake London goes to Atlanta. Garrett Wilson, 110, goes to the Jets. Chris Olave goes to 111, New Orleans, which is a... How single dad you said your wife is out? Single dad life, well, I mean, it's fine. I mean, I've done it before. I think me and my wife, particularly, we'll get... so, Jameson Williams, 112, Detroit. 118, Treylon Burks, Tennessee. And then Kenny Pickett, 120 to Pittsburgh. We'll talk about those picks here as we go throughout this little video and stuff. But single dad life, me and my wife are very good at doing things together and then doing things separate. So, like, I had a trip to Vegas. I have a couple trips to Iowa once every couple months, and we go do some sports betting with some friends. I think that's important in a relationship to be able to do things together and to do things separate. And so she allows me to do those things. Now my buddy just said, did you see the stat? No. On Jermaine Johnson. No, I didn't. I had to pull up Facebook on this or else. So, right now, A.J. Brown going to the Eagles, that's probably the biggest move that has happened. Besides that, I'm a Vikings fan and my Vikings moved to 32, which I absolutely hated. But if they get Jermaine Johnson at 32, I will forgive Kwesi or whatever his name is. I will forgive Kwesi if Jermaine Johnson falls to 32. But A.J. Brown goes to the Eagles. Devontae Smith, who I love, gets a hit here. I actually just traded for Devontae Smith not too long ago in the Dynasty Dads League. I traded 2 firsts for Devontae Smith. Congratulations on that trade. You probably won that one, but it's all right. A.J. Brown goes to a team with, of course, Jalen Hurts being the quarterback. It's going to hurt his ability. It really is. I mean, you're talking about A.J. Brown, who is a top 15 Dynasty wide receiver, top 10 Dynasty wide receiver. Was it going? There's a 1% chance of going to. He said that going into tonight, there was a 1% chance that Jermaine Johnson was still going to be there at pick 24, and he's still there at pick 25. So maybe there's a chance. So I think A.J. Brown does get a hit here. He's now going to be in a team where he is the alpha, A.J. Brown that is, and he's going to be competing with Devontae Smith, which is going to be a big problem. I think Devontae Smith does get a hit here. A.J. Brown gets a hit here. Jalen Hurts doesn't get much of a bump because I believe Jalen Hurts is what you see. He's going to be a fantasy quarterback that is going to deal with a lot of his legs, and he's going to be passing 200 yards a game, which I thought was going to be mostly Devontae Smith. Now you have A.J. Brown in there. Even if there was a rookie wide receiver, I thought that was going to be a poor position for. I thought Eagles wide receiver, if that one of them was going to be there, I thought they were going to get a hit. Drake London going to Atlanta. So Drake London, Garrett Wilson, Treylon Burks, the 1-2-3 that we talked about. Initial reaction of Treylon Burks, Drake London, and Garrett Wilson. I will say that Treylon Burks gets the best situation. Treylon Burks gets Tennessee with no A.J. Brown. He is A.J. Brown light. I have told you guys that multiple times, that A.J. Brown was basically kind of A.J. Brown, or Treylon Burks was A.J. Brown-esque. He does play a little bit more in the slot. He does have some issues. I don't know why my phone went dark. He does have some issues with sometimes separation. Sometimes he plays too much in the slot. But I think Treylon Burks has a really good situation. Now you have Drake London in Atlanta and Garrett Wilson in the Jets. I am going to say that those are pretty equal situations. Atlanta has a horrible quarterback situation. They were the last. They were one of the last. I need a drink. They were one of the last in passing yardage. I think they're like 30th to 32nd in pretty much every passing wide receiver stat you could possibly think of. And they got worse. Matt Ryan to Marcus Mariota, that's worse. That means they are going to get... It's going to be a struggle for Drake London. I think I'm going to have Garrett Wilson second. I believe in the Wilson-to-Wilson connection. Wilson times 2 connection. I hope that that's the situation. We'll see if Wilson gets... I think it's going to be Burks, Wilson, London, which is what I had pre-draft. I think that's actually going to come up post-draft. And then we have to talk about Jameson Williams, Chris Olave. Jameson Williams in Detroit. I actually love what Detroit's doing there. If they had another pick and got quarterback, that'd be amazing, but I think they're just going to have to wait till 2023 draft. What they did with Aiden Hutchinson, I know this is a Dynasty channel, but what they did with Aiden Hutchinson and Jameson Williams, potentially, in some people's eyes, 2 top 15 talents, and some 2 top 10 talents. For me, I think Jameson Williams is lower than that, but I do like Jameson Williams as a potential boom type of player. So Jameson Williams, Chris Olave goes to New Orleans, which is, I think, a great possession type of wide receiver for Jameis Winston. I'm interested to see where some of these other wide receivers go. Right now, it's Burks 1, Wilson 2, Drake London 3, and then Jameson Williams and Chris Olave are super close. I want to see where the other picks go. If you told me right now, I'd have to say Jameson Williams 4, and then Chris Olave 5. Kenny Pickett gets a huge bump with Pittsburgh. Not only does he get a huge bump in Superflex, Kenny Pickett, but he gets a huge bump being the only quarterback taken, and we are at pick 25. So what happens actually to Marquise Brown? I see that Ravens pick. Marquise Brown, I mean, he gets the Christian Kirk role, so he becomes a wide receiver, low end, probably wide receiver 2. It's not an amazing situation for him because he's going to have DeAndre Hopkins being the alpha there, and he has Rondale Moore being that kind of under guy. So Marquise Brown probably gets a hit here because I'd rather have Lamar Jackson, even in the horrible passing situation that he's in. I'd rather have him as a Raven than a Cardinal. The biggest downfall right now, the biggest down is A.J. Brown. And you can even say Ryan Tannehill because Ryan Tannehill now gets Treylon Burks and Robert Woods. Robert Woods actually probably gets a bump here. Robert Woods is a sneaky wide receiver. A sneaky wide receiver. I am buying Robert Woods if I could. Because, yes, I understand he's coming off an ACL injury. He's getting older, but he's that 31-year-old. He's 30, I think, right now. I'm 29 or 30. I don't have my computer. I have my computer, but I'm just too lazy to Google it. He's that sneaky wide receiver that all of a sudden he's 20th this next year. And you go, what the heck? I thought he was garbage. And I bet you could get Robert Woods for a late second. Go out there and try to get Robert Woods. If you're a contender, for a late second. This is a perfect time. Well, maybe it's not a perfect time. It's probably a perfect time because everyone has to draft. What's Woods worth for an offer? Boom. Late second. Late second. Just try. I think that would be a good starting. I mean, I would even offer to a mid-second at this point. I think Robert Woods is worth that. Even considering his age and his injury history. Why does my phone keep doing that? I don't like it going down. So, I love the questions. Keep asking me the questions. Tyler Linderbaum from Iowa goes to the Ravens. Now I got to catch up with all my buddies. We're all Vikings fans. We have a Packers fan in our group. And he's talking about Malik Willis going to the Vikings at 32, which I don't think will happen. would be crazy if he was. Oh, that was somebody commented. Yeah, you get ask questions away. If you're live, ask questions. I'm here. You're probably gonna see some of me doing nothing. But I want to watch the actual draft. Jets are 26, and I'm gonna have to probably have another drink before the Vikings pick. Comment, what's your favorite drink? What's your favorite whiskey? I have, gosh, what's the brand? Tennessee whiskey? Tennessee? No. It's in a thin, small bottle. I can't even think what it's called. Old Smoky? Old Smoky. Yeah, that's my whiskey of choice when I'm watching this unfortunate draft unfold. So, comment what you are drinking. If it's water. I see some people popping on here live, some people popping off live. Oh, this guy's a wrestler. Wow. When's he gonna learn his wrestling thing? The most surprising thing of the draft so far, probably the AJ Brown trade. Because I didn't think AJ Brown would be trading. Saw Melvin Gordon resigned. I have Najee, Javonte, and 1.2 in my 10 team. You holding 1-2 for Walker trade? Oh, the comments went away. For 102, well, I'd rather have Najee and Javonte. I'm a big Jameson Irish whiskey fan. Jameson Irish whiskey. So I have a buddy. I have two buddies. One loves Jameson and one loves Jack. Both on the rocks. They are horrible people. No, I'm just kidding. They just hurt me at times because especially in my early 20s, so 10 years ago, we used to do that a lot where it's like, oh, let's just do something on the rocks, and then you end up having a horrible night. So that happens. But at 102, I'm holding off on Walker at this point. I feel like Breece Hall and Walker are going to go early second. You'll find out in the next 20 picks what's going to happen with both of those players, in my opinion. With the running backs, I'm actually shocked that only one quarterback has been taken this far. And thank you for being the only one that's commented so far. I enjoy at least the one comment. And you know what? If you're the only one that watches this, cheers. There are some teams I feel like have drafted 7 times. I know there's 8 teams that drafted twice. But Jets now back in this? What the heck? And Jets, Detroit. I love actually Detroit's draft. Eden. 0 people are on. All right. We're going to go refill. Refill. No, we're still going. All right, short bathroom break. Why is this thing do that? Countered with Chubb. Kind of pause. Let's see. Had an offer for 102 Komet, for 108 2023 first, 305 grandson. All I see is grandson. You have to trade your grandson away. Well, that stinks. I mean, that's a family member, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Countered with Chubb, 108 for 102. I mean, I'd rather have. Gosh. Oh, hey, look, I can scroll. Saw in my. Who the Jets pick? Jermaine Johnson. Oh, dang it! Kyle Grayson. I thought it was your grandson that you tried to trade away. And you know what? Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Chubb 108 for 102. Ramondre. No, I'd rather have Chubb in 108. Had an offer. Yeah, I would rather have Chubb in 108 for 102 Ramondre. Yeah, I would rather have Chubb in 108. And goodbye to your grandson. You can add them to the deal. Alright. Gotta continue my drink. I should have burnt this one if... Good. I need to text my friends. Goodbye. Johnson. Why? I don't know why my Vikings traded 12 for 32 and 34. That's fine. He can... Yeah, he can... no Green Bay KC wide receivers. Probably the most disappointing thing for you at 102. Probably the most disappointing thing for anybody at 102. I actually had an offer in Dynasty Dad's League. I'm offered for 102. And really, it depends. Malik and Walker are the 102 picks in Superflex, and not one QB. I believe that if Walker goes somewhere bad, that 102 pick is definitely going to get devalued. Breece Hall and Walker both have to go to pretty good spots. It's a concern at this point. Yep, all my friends texted me. Yep, they wanted him. Yeah. Yeah, I think right now, if I'm a Vikings fan, I'm a Vikings fan, so I think I want George Kalorolofskis, or whatever his name is, for defensive end. I wanted Jermaine Johnson. I thought he was awesome, and he was a Minnesota guy, so Minnesota raised. I thought that would have been really cool to have, and I don't understand at 26 why the Vikings didn't move from 32 to 26. I don't know what the cost was, but it's kind of a bummer that I mean, they got Ahmad Gardner, they got Jermaine Johnson, and they got, I agree, that's why I was trying to move away. Yeah, I get that. And they got Garrett Wilson. Gosh, Jets, Detroit, having good drafts, weird. It's just really weird. I really like how that, and Jacksonville's still sucking. I did not like the Travion Walker pick. Aiden Hutchinson is the pick at 101, in my opinion. He is a Bosa light. He is Trey Hendrickson. I don't know what the Vikings are going to do. So, yeah, nothing has really happened in Dynasty the last half hour, 45 minutes. I'm just looking at Mel's best available. Malik Willis, number 2. The guy with the big arm. At this point, 32 and 34. Green Bay's not going to take one. New England's not going to take one. I think KC might have a pick unless they traded that later pick. I think they had one of them left. I wouldn't mind it. Which, I love Kirk. Kirk he's a decent quarterback. Malik Willis gives you that, honestly, gives you the ceiling of anything. He could be a MVP, but he could also be Geno Smith. Can I get the comments? Asked Ouija one for him, and he said he had to process. I would have to process too. Yeah, I would have to process too. That's a hard. Thank you, Patrick, for keep commenting. You can keep asking me your questions. I'll be your personal answering device to unless other people keep asking. But right now, Patrick is gonna ask all the questions if I can actually talk. So many trades going on. Well, last drink of the night. We got a full one. Jaguars pick is in. I don't know what the Jaguars want to do. Jaguars are going to pick like a third-round fullback or something. Jaguars just know how to suck. They really do. I'm sorry, Jaguars fans. Like, you just don't know how to draft. Like, Vikings, Vikings know how to draft. They just make really weird decisions. Like they could have got. I'm a Vikings fan. I love the Vikings. They could have gotten Kyle Hamilton. They could have gotten McDuffie, who I like both of those players. And they got neither one of them because they chose to move back 20 spots in the first and move up 12 spots in the second and get a third round instead. I just don't understand. I understand that this draft is supposedly a deeper draft, not a high-end draft. I just don't get it. Maybe Kwesi was hanging out in Vegas too long. Hopefully, I'm going to try to make it all the way to pick 32 here. It's going to be the longest live that I've ever done. I don't know. I'm looking at the best available right now. No, Marlon Mack is not a sneaky start. I don't... No, Patrick, he's not a sneaky start. Marlon Mack is not. But I do like your rebuild. You've done very well with your rebuild. So, I'm very happy with that. Because you can butcher a rebuild in a lot of ways. And a lot of times, I have plan A. And I never do plan A with a rebuild because plan B usually happens quicker. Which means I end up looking to draft players like in this draft. And the picks end up being almost overvalued. It happens almost every draft where the pick itself, pick 8. Pick 8 is, let's just say, Jamison Williams. I can get, at times, when people get desperate, they start throwing me A.J. Brown for pick 8, and I'm like, okay. And it doesn't happen every year, but there are times where teams get desperate and they see, oh, these are fancy new names that are 21, 22 years old, and they forget about these other players that have been successful. I wonder if I can go to the draft. I wanted to look at the big board here. There we go. I want to see what Bleacher Report. Bleacher Report is a website that I kind of go on sometimes to see what they're... I want to see what the other picks are. Cincy's in there. Cincy, Chiefs, Patriots, Green Bay, Jaguars. None of those want quarterbacks. George, I don't want to see all players. I just want to see undrafted. George Karlafkis. Oh, if you're a contender, I like Cup. Yes, I like Cup too. Jaguars, what are you going to do? Fullback. If they draft Breece Hall, I will be pissed. I will be pissed. Don't draft Breece Hall. Oh, yeah. If you can get Cup for 102, it's... I mean, you almost have to do it at that point. And Cup's going to be good for the next couple of years. You have to do that decision. I like this draft, but 102, Cup, you got to take Cup. Devin Lloyd, okay pick by the Jaguars. I don't mind that. He's a decent linebacker out of Utah. So, Bleacher Reports. I don't know why Desmond Ridder is their second. They have really Karlafkis at 8 overall? I don't understand that. No, not this pop-up. That's right, George Pickens is available. Just thinking for Green Bay here. Green Bay's got to have Pickens. If they get Pickens, that is going to make it. That's going to make it a really different. That's going to make it a really tough decision to do. I don't know why my thing keeps undoing that. But George Pickens, they have Justin Ross as their next best wide receiver available. Bleacher Report does. I love some of these rankings that they have. They have Justin Ross ranked ahead of Breece Hall. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I don't understand who ranks these players. They have Khalil Shakir ahead of Sky Moore. They have Sky Moore way below. But Sky Moore is their 11th wide receiver. No. They have him below Justin Ross. What? Why do they love Justin Ross so much? I'm confused. I don't understand that. So, oh, Green Bay. This should be George Pickens. This should be Christian Watson, which we haven't even talked about. Should be Sky Moore. Let me go on Facebook. I need to harass my Packers friend. So, Watson. So, Watson or Pickens? I like to comment to my my Packers friends and say, hey, can you draft a wide receiver now? They need to draft a wide receiver. This is almost one of those cases where it's not even because it's the best player available, it's because the team will dishonor you and the fans will dishonor you and burn the stadium to the ground. That's way an overreaction, but I'm just watching the Packers. Come on. Pick is in. Packers pick is in. Let's pick defense. Because I'm a Vikings fan. Woo. My son was born in Wisconsin. And if he's a Packers fan, we're going to have a big issue. God, I hate the Cheeseheads. I've never been born with so much hatred towards a team. Like, out of the four sports, name the team that you hate the most. The Twins, I mean, I hate the Yankees, but I don't hate them as much as the Packers. Just because the Yankees are so much better. It's like, they have a $200 million payroll, and the Twins usually have like $80 million. The Wild, the Blackhawks are frustrating. But it is what it is. The Timberwolves have not been in the play in my salary and contract year keeper. I have Lance, MC, Gibson. That's my base team. Contract leagues are very, very complicated. So it depends on what exactly the contracts are. They're very, 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 very complicated. They can be. I have a contract league, and our rule book is like 40 pages. I had to like read, and there's times I have to like read through it to try to figure out. I'm like, okay, so am I allowed to do this, or if this happens? I'm like, it's a mess. But anyways, I think the Packers are the team that I hate the most. Because I think football is the sport that I love the most. And the Vikings are the team that I love the most. And Packers are the arch nemesis. And I hate that yellow and green just to burn that. I don't like it. Pick is in. Come on, defense, fullback. Let's get a fullback. Let's get a fullback for the Packers. Why are they showing Andrew Whitworth? See? Yeah, you even saying like they're NFL. Sorry, I hate Cowboys more than Packers. Craig? Why? Why, Craig? I don't understand that. The Cowboys have never done. I mean, they have the push off. Years and years and years and years and years ago. Wait. Come on, Goodell, just get to the actual pick. Oh, Andrew Whitworth gets actually. He was a Ram. Was he a Packer at some point? I don't know the history of most of my boys like Cowboys. Yeah, that makes sense. Hate what your friends like. I have friends that like the Packers. I kind of want to turn this up.
The NFL, the Payton family, and nationwide
Blow pack blow.
for everything they do to support players as we try to make positive impacts in our communities. When I look back over my time in the NFL and my career over 16 years,
Who are the Packers picking?
Champion, one of the most rewarding things
I hate the Ravens, but I'm a Steelers fan. That makes sense.
To help change people's lives.
I actually like the Ravens and the Steelers. So, did you like the Kenny Pickett pick or no?
The players of the NFL and encourage you. And the prospects of this NFL draft. Take advantage of that.
I like the Ravens because I liked Ed Reed and Ray Lewis growing up. So, and I liked the Steelers because I honestly liked Troy Polamalu and his hair, and I just liked I like Jerome Bettis, and so I like players of both teams, and so I can't hate either one of those. Oh, so he's not even going to pick. Andrew Whitworth is just going to talk. Was okay with him or Willis. I don't have.
With the 28th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Devontae Wyatt, defensive tackle, Georgia.
Oh, you after the defensive tackle. My dad raises a Steelers fan. We watched all 470 Super Bowls. Congratulations. I was not born at that point. Yeah, I was not born at that point. Gosh. The Packers drafted a defensive tackle. This is great. Oh. Gosh, you Packers... You know what? The Packers are going to have to draft 2 wide receivers in the second round. They're going to have to draft like a Sky Moore and, gosh, a Jalen Tolbert. They're going to have to draft 2 wide receivers. I don't think Christian Watson or George Pickens falls. I understand that that's probably a reach with one of those 2 players, drafting George Pickens and Christian Watson. I understand that. That's fine. It's fine it being a reach. But still, you almost have to reach. Or trade back. There's plenty of teams trying to probably get into the early or the end of first here. Try to get that 5th year. Yep, now all my friends are laughing. And I love it. Cheers to the Packers drafting the defense again. Does Aaron Rodgers just refuse to even like step on the field? I mean, this is yes, arguably one of the deepest wide. They said, not me. Hey Aaron, we're gonna keep. Yeah. They trade away Devontae. You have to figure a way to get a top 5 wide receiver. And the top 5 are Drake London, Garrett Wilson, Jamison Williams, Treylon Burks, and George Pickens. Top 5 wide receivers. There's one not drafted yet, George Pickens. And arguably, they're at 22. They should have panic mode and tried to get Treylon Burks at 18. I mean, they arguably needed Treylon Burks. And now they're sitting in a situation where no Christian Watson, probably no Sky Moore, gosh, no Jahan Dodson. Jahan Dodson got drafted, and I did not put him in the thing. Where the heck did Jahan Dodson get drafted? I just realized that. I was like, hey, he was drafted 16th to the Commanders. Well, shitty me for not saying that. Jahan Dodson, Washington. So yeah, Jahan Dodson, arguably maybe in that tier 2, or tier 2, tier 3, depending where you're at. We're running out of wide receivers to actually get for the Packers. They are making a huge mistake. You are losing Devontae. Don't trade Devontae if you're going to do that. Please trade for McLaurin. I traded. Yeah, Patrick, it's not going to happen. I mean, I would never say never, but it's likely. I don't know. They need to trade for Debo or DK. And this is not the move to do. This is just not the move to do. Packers and KC both traded away wide receivers that were top 5 in talent, top 5 in pay. Maybe they made the right decision, but I feel like this is a mistake. Tennessee drafting. Why are teams trading their top tier talent? Gosh, I might need to get some pretzels. I'm kind of hungry for some pretzels. Maybe I should get some pretzels. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get some pretzels. We got a couple minutes.
This is my McDonald's. The crew here is very special.
They always make us feel at home.
Why do you think this is such a popular McDonald's? Isn't it obvious? Well, because I love our fries.
I like beer with this much flavor should be kept in a secure location, like your hand.
I was already keeping my own.
Light Sky, from the makers of Blue Moon. Savor every sip.
This will be one of the biggest trades in NFL history.
Pretzels. Got them. When I pick yours in. San Francisco turned on Jets time for Devo. Wow. I traded AJ Brown 2 weeks ago. My other Dynasty. I almost cried when we think. I'm sorry. No. I traded for Devontae 2 weeks ago. It hurts. It happens.
The New England Patriots select Cole Strange, guard, Chattanooga.
I think. I'm trying to think what my worst timing trade was. The Packers fans are like, I love the picks. I'm not concerned at all. The worst trade I ever made was for AJ Brown, and he got like suspended right away. And then I like Waddle. His value dropped Tish. Still top 10 Dynasty wide receiver. For Waddle or AJ Brown? I would take. I'll take Waddle. I'm leaving 2 of them more than I do Hurts. I get a little bit. I get like 2 years, so I'll take Waddle.
With the 30th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select George Karlaftis, defensive end, Purdue.
I love his story. Born and lived in Greece until he was
I just typed. We need George Karlaftis. Chiefs just picked George Karlaftis.
the second best pressure rate in the Big Ten last year, Mel, behind only Aiden Hutchinson. And so this is not a surprise. We wondered maybe early second or late first for Karlaftis, and here he goes. Yeah, a lot of people thought early in the year he could be a top 10 guy. I've even heard somebody say top 5. So we look at George Karlaftis, big kid, rugged, hard worker, hustle. He quiet against Ohio State. They chipped him. Against a big offensive tackle, the short arm showed up. And that's again where we're getting to arm length. Very critical to a lot of positions in football. Certainly defensive end, pass rusher. That's where Georgia, you think about the short arm, the lack of great lateral quickness.
My Packers fans are saying that they're not concerned. I would be highly concerned if I was a Packers fan. I like George Karlaftis. Really want him to be a Viking. Crap, 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 crap. I'm trying to figure out who I want the Vikings to take. Sorry if I'm not responding to questions. I'm just trying to figure out who the heck. Who the heck? I just don't like this. I don't like this. I'm telling my buddy. Most amazing stats that Jordan Davis is 6'6". Yeah, Jordan Davis is a big boy, moves fast, 2-down player. It's all right. He can move fast. Not a top 5 pick. I mean, I don't think there's some weird picks this year, but I mean, Jordan Davis is a good 2-down player. T tackles don't get drafted that high.
We have 2 picks remaining in round 1, and we still have one of the 2 quarterbacks we expected to go tonight, waiting for his turn. Malik Willis still on the board. Will he hear his name called? We'll find out next.
This is the 2022 NFL Draft, presented by Courtyard by Marriott.
So the Pizza Hut $10 tastemaker has any 3 toppings you want. It's the best delivery deal around. Actually, you can $10. The large 3-topping $10 tastemaker. Pizza Hut.
The official cerveza of Cinco welcomes a margarita-flavored salsarita to the party.
Ah!
And Cinco de Mayo is officially...
Someone said Dodson could run. Speed, catch you sleep, maybe. What? Maybe. I don't know what I want the Vikings to do.
Get any size soft drink for just $1 at McDonald's.
So I said, find a job, any job, work hard. That's just how it is. But of course, you didn't listen. You showed me there's another way. I'm proud of you.
What if you were a global bank who wanted to supercharge your audit system? So you tap IBM to unsilo your data and start crunching a year's worth of transactions into 2,892 controls AI. Now you're making smart decisions faster, operating costs are lower, and everyone, from your auditors to your bankers, feels like a clear place. Let's create smarter ways of putting your data to work. IBM, that's big.
Packers fan, the Packers guy in our group is saying that the Packers are not making a mistake by drafting a wide. They're not making a mistake by not drafting a wide receiver in round 1. I said that right. I think they are. At this point, you have to reach for a wide receiver. You have to get yourself a wide receiver. He goes, oh, well, Alec Pierce is like Jordy Nelson. Like, you were saying, if Alec Pierce was like Jordy Nelson, then he'd be drafted in round 1. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Packers are making big mistakes. Packers need to draft a freaking wide receiver. Oh. Anybody else have Dots pretzels, by the way? Rapid Davis.
Very unlikely that they will take a quarterback, obviously, Booker. So it appears we may easily see only one quarterback over this first round.
Yeah, I think we will. Again, we knew this wasn't going to be a quarterback this draft with the Pittsburgh system with Willis or Kenny Pickett. They went Kenny Pickett. I think if you're looking at Cincinnati right now, they have to find somebody that can cover a receiver, whether it be outside or inside. We all know the struggles with Eli Apple. Their secondary struggles. Their safeties are really, really good. Their cornerbacks lack. This has to be a guy that can cover whether it's outside or inside of the slot. Somebody in the secondary.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. Look, they quarterback, defensive tackle, those are the two spots. They have some real good linebackers. But Logan Wilson is one of the best young linebackers in the NFL. You saw him in the Super Bowl. He's going to be a star. They need somebody on the perimeter on the edge.
And this is a team that has addressed its offensive line needs, which were significant in free agency. So we'll see what they do. Here comes the commissioner, the 31st pick.
With the 31st pick in the 2022 NFL Draft,
Who the Bengals gonna pick?
the AFC champion Cincinnati Bengals select Dodson Hill, defensive back, Michigan.
All right, out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, Silver Glover Justice was drafted in the 4th round by the Ravens 3 years ago. He's a running back. So the Big Ten champions with 2 highly touted defenders that go in round 1. Tonight, first Aiden Hutchinson and now Dodson Hill.
Big play. I was shocked he's still there. Maybe people didn't know if he was going to be a slot corner, but he's near corner, he's a safety, but he's only 191 pounds, but he's got long arms, 6'1.5", ran 4.38. So the #1 safety coming out of high school, flies to the football, really good football IQ. So Mike McDonald was a defensive coordinator with Michigan.
Well, there goes the Michigan safety. Woo! I don't know what the Vikings are going to take. Pick us in! That was quick. Who are the Vikings going to take? Am I going to be happy? Am I going to be sad? 47 minutes in.
He's the prototype Piper. Look, he's not Hamilton. He's not that big, but he can do the same thing. He's the guy who can play the deep end. He can play the star. He can play the money position, which is really
Who are the Vikings going to take?
he will come down and try and stump you. He's only 191 pounds. So
I don't even know if I want to know.
to his disadvantage just in terms of like body mass, he's a bigger running back, but he is not scared. He is super fast. This is a great thing for them. They needed a guy like this. Him and Jesse Bates in the middle of the field, that's a nice combination there in Cincinnati.
I was about to ask all of you, do we expect someone to try and trade into this final spot in the first round to take the quarterback? But I see the Vikings have made the pick. It is certainly not impossible that the Vikings would take a QB here, but it does not seem especially likely. So it does look, Booker, like we're going to see a first round here, again, for only the second time in the last 20 years where only one quarterback is selected.
Well, and I think things have held true from that standpoint. We came into this draft, and the quarterback weren't the most talented players. It was going to be offensive line, defensive line.
You left tomorrow for round 2? No, I am unfortunately not. Marcus is a Boston. Yeah, Vikings will probably make us sad. No, I will not be live for round 2. I have some buddies coming over. We're going to be having a pool room, so we're going to probably be playing some pool, drinking some cocktails, watching the draft, probably being sad. The Vikings make stupid decisions. What time the draft even start tomorrow? I don't even know. I've been so worried about round 1 that I have no idea what round 2 actually, what time that is. I know like Saturday is usually like noon. The Timberwolves play at 8. Probably, I don't know. I think I'm going out to dinner. I think we're going to go hit dinner, play some pulleys, some pull tabs, some cardboard crack. That's usually what we do. Usually we win. Sometimes we lose. 7 p.m. I think Eastern time, or as you put, eat. There you go, EST. So yeah, I think 6 o'clock. Yeah, I will probably be at our local establishment having my meal and a drink or two, and hang out with a couple of buddies. Yeah, probably that's what it will entail. And 6 o'clock, maybe I'll be back at the house by then. But at that point, I'm just not gonna be in the mood to do live, so I probably won't do a live tomorrow. So at this point, again, to recap, since it's been a little bit of time, the Packers. It's funny because the Packers guy was like, "Well, we still can get Alec Pierce in the second round." And no offense to you, but you're not an NFL scout. I'm not an NFL scout. I will agree, but I think that you relying on Packers' future because of Alec Pierce is a horrible, horrible argument as a Packers fan. Horrible argument. I'm waiting. I see the 3 dots just moving. It's interesting. These guys don't watch film. They don't watch film. They just assume what other people say. Bleacher Report, completely wrong. They have Justin Ross as their wide receiver like 7. Over Sky Moore, over Christian Watson, over freaking like 3 other players. It's like, that's just ridiculous. So, Kenny Pickett, though, does get moved up here in Superflex. Right now, we don't have Malik Willis. I've seen that Mandalorian Viking guy. He was actually at the Viking Stadium when I went there. But, again, Traylon Burks, wide receiver 1. Garrett Wilson, wide receiver 2. Drake London, wide receiver 3. Out of 4, I'll just say Jameson Williams at this point. 5 will go Chris Olave, and 6, Jahan Dotson. Out of wide receivers wise. We'll see what happens after that. I'm guessing we're going to end. I don't even know how I want at this point. We should have got somebody at 12. What? Lewis Seen? Lewis Seen. Who? I know he's a safety, but gosh. Why? I honestly don't know. I so felt. Ooh, wow, that's a hard hit. Lewis Seen. I know. The problem with me focusing so much on the quarterback, or sorry, the offensive positions, that I don't get to actually focus too much on the defensive positions. I have all my Vikings fellow fans messaging me going, what is going on? I'm like, I don't know. They said it's a great pickup. At 32, why not just try to trade out of that position for that last quarterback? Speaking of which, Malik Willis. I'm going to have to make a video of this tomorrow. before I have to go out. This is 100%. This is why you have to listen to people that know what the heck they're talking about. Malik Willis was a player that I absolutely loved. I said was my number one quarterback. Malik Willis, number one quarterback in fantasy football 3 months ago, 2 months ago, 1 month ago. Today is my number one, well, yesterday, was my number one quarterback. And what did I say? He was being overdrafted, overranked, because he went from 20th, all of a sudden pro day, and combine happened, and then he got shot up through the boards. The biggest concern with me was this is a weak quarterback class. And if no quarterbacks, besides Kenny Pickett, gets drafted in the first round, that is a huge, huge concern. So I think that is something that we have to, like, when I said Malik Willis should be 5, 6, 7 in Dynasty Superflex, people were like, hey, he needs to be earlier than 4, 5, 6 in Dynasty Superflex. No, Malik Willis is I thought a first round pick, will be a second round pick. We're going to see a bunch of running backs off the board, but Malik Willis, I went from the biggest lover to now, like, I'm the one holding the reins back, which was, I'm trying to think, it was opposite of a player, who the heck was it? I'm trying to think of, there was a player that was opposite of the last year. I'm trying to think who the heck it was. No, it wasn't Baker. Well, now the Packers guys, some of the Packers' best wide receivers for the last 15 years were all second rounders.
That's not unusual, but only one quarterback went, and that is, and the man Malik Willis, who many people think is the best quarterback in this class, certainly may have the highest upside, will be available all day long tomorrow. I would imagine both of the phones are going to be ringing all day.
No doubt, expect somebody to trade up in round 2. They're going to have all kinds of markers. Can we put this guy in our system and bring him along? And maybe we can reach in a package for him, but he is the quarterback when he comes out of this draft.
Yeah, I mean, physically, he has a ton of upside. There's just going to be other parts of his game that he's going to make sure, he's going to have to make sure that he invests in, that he gets to the point where then he can let all that athletic ability.
Malik Willis, there's been people in the past too that have shot through the boards. Clyde Edwards-Helaire was one of them that shot through the boards towards the end. I'm trying to think of another guy that Henry Ruggs did a little bit, but I'm trying to think of another player. But Malik Willis is definitely somebody that I said, hey, let's not draft him in the top 5. Let's draft him 5. Well, not necessarily in the top 5. Let's draft him 6, 5, 7, somewhere around there in the Superflex. And really, people have been harsh against me. But again, he's been there the last 3 months. Nothing has changed. When you watch tape on somebody, when you follow them throughout, like you watch every single game they play, your ranking shouldn't change a ton. I get really concerned when people go, and there's other YouTubers, there's other people that will all of a sudden see a quarterback go from 5 to 1, 4 to 2, 4 to 1, or 8 to 3, and you're like, what happened? The biggest thing that I see is people start to just follow the narrative. I'm going to even just bring out the example of Stingley Jr. Even in this draft, people were like, oh, he's down. But that was not the narrative. Was he was still a super talented quarterback going into the draft and gets drafted 3rd overall to Houston. So I think one of the biggest things that we have to do as a dynasty community is not overreact. If you see Jameson Williams because he's in Detroit go number 1 or number 8, I think that's an overreaction or an underreaction. We'll see where these ADP lands. Kenny Pickett, could he be over Malik Willis? He could be. He honestly could be. If Malik Willis goes to a really crappy spot, which he might. Yeah, I mean, it could be. I need some pretzels. We're gonna have to end this soon. Eagles getting AJ Brown. That was a wow. Anybody else notice that Garrett Wilson has a weird walk? Or is it just me? He has a weird walk. Yeah, longest in the draft for first quarterback selection since 1997. I've even talked to common people. When I mean common people, people that don't follow the NFL, they hate the quarterbacks. If common people hate the quarterbacks, you know how bad the quarterbacks are. This is the only quarterback draft that I can remember. I'm trying to think back. But a quarterback will not be selected number 101 in Superflex. There were rumors that Malik Willis was going to get drafted number 2 overall. And we have 32 picks gone, including 2 of Detroit's, and he's not been drafted.
Three of the best 15 players in this draft. They got the best cornerback in Sauce Gardner coming out of Cincinnati. To play a position is so important.
I'm just listening to Todd McShay right now. All right, I should probably end this. Look up some research on what's left over. Because Vikings pick on 34. All right, peace out, guys. Send me your next questions. I'm going to make a video tomorrow. Hopefully. Peace out. Take care.